we were funding these people with guns and militants, and then they successfully defeated Russia, and we're very happy. But then we just left them. We did not rebuild any of their schools or homes during the conflict, because in reality, we didn't just give them free weapons. We used them to fight the Russians. So in a way, it's like we did that on purpose. We used people to get them mad. And that's how these big corporations are like. They just beat up animals to death and use them. They no longer permit them the rights to roam free before they are killed. Because, all animals would die anyway, so at least give them a chance to be happy. But because we're treating animals bad, now it looks like we could treat Arabians bad and make people turn into terrorists. In fact, there's also been some suspicions that our police have been harassing people that became school shooters, and that the problem does not lie in the shooters. The problem lies within the system, in the corrupt system going on.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th, malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame away from the terrorists themselves, away from the guilty.
In fact, here's my protest to people like you, Bushy, that went around and saying that we should not tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories when the FBI didn't even put in Osama's profile that he orchestrated the attacks, which means that there must have not been enough evidence. So on the wanted page, you couldn't even find enough to put it on there. This means something, that 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job! 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 Woo! Yeah! 9/11 was an inside job! Now this is the fifth one, the approval from the people. Now, how can you get people to follow your secret or deceitful agendas? Deceitful in public and maybe even deceitful in private, just so people won't know what you're doing or what you're up to. Well, one of the ways is you could put in a superhero. Someone like Barack Obama who's come to save the planet. In fact, you've seen that he's been put on comic books. I think I heard he was being put in a Spider-Man cartoon. Now that's just nuts. We've never put any other politician, not even John F. Kennedy, and yet, because Obama comes in there, all of a sudden we want to put him, we want to start putting presidents inside comic books. And now everyone's going around acting like he's a hero. And he just made a bunch of promises. How can we salute Obama when he hasn't even done anything yet? This is the reason why I made podcast talking against Obama, which I took down because I was getting death threats over this. Well, I don't really think Obama's a superhero. In fact, one man cannot be a superhero. It takes a team of people all over the world which can save the world. It can't be one man called Barack Obama. I know that he's the first African-American president, but we shouldn't treat him like he's more important than any other human being, because, we shouldn't treat him like a god or an idol, because just because he says he's come to save the planet Earth. The thing is, we've got to be careful about that, because he might deceive you. He might even disappoint you.
Wir wollen nicht leben und wollen nicht spenden. des deutschen Volkes. Wenn wir selbst, dieses deutsche Volk, emporführen durch eigene Arbeit, durch eigenen Fleiß, eigene Entschlossenheit, eigenen Trotz, eigene Beharrlichkeit, dann werden wir
you know, and you need to think about stuff like that. Just because Obama says stuff like, oh, we're gonna get the troops out of Iraq fast, which never happened, he also said that all sorts of other stuff that was a complete lie. In fact, when you watch the Obama deception, you begin to see that this Barack Obama guy is just a puppet, and that maybe there is a chance that Obama wants to help America, but when he got into the presidency and you're all like worshipping him like an idol, he's just a puppet. He's just a puppet that does what he's told. And that's why they started getting to him. He started, at first I think he really wanted to get the troops out of Iraq like the rest of us. But then all of a sudden they're telling him, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then all of a sudden Obama's saying 12 months. You know, he sets up timetables, and all of a sudden then he may get the troops out in 24 months. And then we're hearing that he wants more troops sent back. In fact, I talked to this one woman. She said I had to go back to Iraq. She said I have to go back to war. Now, is this the Obama guy you people worship? I mean, he said he was going to get us out of Iraq, and then he says, I'm not going to get you out of Iraq. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? That's like if I say, I'm going to protect people from terrorist attacks, and then say, I'm just going to allow it. You know, why should it be my problem? and so what's happening is they're getting to Obama. Like another time, they said that, you know, it's just he was going to close down Guantanamo Bay, and all of a sudden it seems like he may close down Guantanamo Bay because the secret societies, his masters, are like, well, we may let you do this, and now he's allowing and endorsing secret CIA redemptions, where you're taken out of the comforts of your home and possibly put in another country torture center. In another country where you have no rights. No legal rights except that you have to do whatever your soldier masters say. Is this the Obama guy you people thought was so wonderful? The fact is, people, you need to realize that Obama's just doing a deceit campaign. Obama, Bush, Clinton, Nixon, Ronald Reagan, all the others, they're just puppets. They have to do what they're told, whether they're for the right reason or the wrong reason.